Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers, dear sisters, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Wherever you may be, welcome. Welcome back to another spectacular episode, another edition of a memorable series by Saphir TV called Hajj, a journey of a lifetime. My name is Ali Hassan, and our pilot, whom we're going to speak to in just a bit, is helping us with this journey, and what a fantastic job he's doing. Now, you may have discovered by watching the previous episodes how the rituals, conditions, and rites of Hajj are quite delicate in nature. This is why I say our pilot is doing a fine job, as he's not leaving any stone unturned. So, what are we waiting for? Let's get to it. Shaykhna, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Pleasure to see you again.
Ahsant. Thank you.
We are now going to talk about something, another area, also begins with M, just like Mecca, Medina. It's called Mina. Apparently, there's lots to do over there. So if you can let us know a bit of a background about Mina and why it is so significant.
Naam, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Mina. This is the place where, number one, there is a connection with the history of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam and Prophet Ismail. You remember when Ibrahim alayhi salam saw in his dream that he's going to slaughter his son Ismail. And he informed his son that I have seen in my dream that I'm slaughtering you. What do you say? Ismail said to his father, "Oh, my dear father, do whatever you have been commanded, and you will find me accepting it." And they went together, father and son, from Mecca, because they used to live in Mecca. So they went to Arafat, to Muzdalifah, and they ended up in Mina, where Ibrahim was going to slaughter his son Ismail in that particular area.
Okay.
So now we are talking about the area where there is a connection between the two great personalities in Islam.
Okay, so just to get the sequence correct, so Mecca to Muzdalifah.
No, Arafah.
Arafah, okay, sorry. Mecca to Arafah to Muzdalifah. I remember we had to pick up rocks for Muzdalifah.
Exactly.
And then to Mina. And I think we're going to take action when we get to Mina.
Indeed.
So what is the first thing you do when you arrive at Mina?
Very good. Now, once you arrive in Mina, what you're supposed to do, first of all, let us remember, this is the day of Eid.
Okay.
While other people are celebrating Eid all over the places, wherever they are in the world, Hujjaj, the pilgrims, are busy. So they traveled from Muzdalifah, now they are going to Mina. Eid may find them on the way going to Mina. So sometimes some people even don't get time to pray Eid when they are there.
Wow.
Once they reach Mina, what they are supposed to do is to stone the shaitan.
Okay, yes.
So this is what they are going to do on the day of Eid.
That's really interesting. For the rest of us, millions out there, Muslims, we're celebrating Eid. We're dressed in fancy clothes. We got nice sweets ready to go and going to the mosque to pray. But you're saying the actual Hujjaj are probably in transit.
Exactly.
When this is all going down.
Exactly. And that's why sometimes when we hear that Eidul Adha, this Eid, where we call it Eid Qurban.
Yes, yes.
Adha, Qurban is the same word. So, or same meaning. People say Eid al-Adha is celebration after completion of Hajj. We say, no. It's not completion of Hajj. There are still other acts of Hajj which are supposed to be done on the day of Eid.
Okay, and I'm going to take a guess. Is that where you take those pebbles and you actually throw it? Now, is there criteria that needs to be met?
Exactly.
When it comes to it?
So number one, when we talk about the pebbles, we remember that Shaitan wanted to confuse Prophet Ibrahim and Ismail,
right,
not to fulfill what Prophet Ibrahim saw about slaughtering his son. So Ibrahim alayhi salam took the pebbles, throwing them to Shaitan to chase him away.
Sure.
Today, when we as Muslims do Hajj, we throw the pebbles not to the physical Shaitan we see in front of us, but there is something symbolizing Shaitan.
Right.
And this is what we call it, Al-Jamratul Aqaba.
Al-Jamratul
Aqaba.
Aqaba.
And this is the big Shaitan. So, any Hajj who goes to throw pebbles to Shaitan, he will see 3 pillars. Right. One is the biggest one, that is the biggest Shaitan. And then there is a smaller one and the middle one. So the Hajj will be busy on this day to throw pebbles to the big Shaitan.
Thank you for giving me the background to why we actually do this act. I wasn't sure if I was going to ask you, but thank you for putting that to my attention.
Welcome.
So we're actually, again, mimicking, copying, mirroring what the prophets did in the past. Because
Indeed.
They were trying to cast away Shaitan.
Indeed.
And there's 3 pillars. One's like the big Shaitan, and there's 2 smaller, his pals, his buddies. We take these pebbles, and are we just allowed to swing it as fast or hard as we can? What is the criteria when it comes to that?
I like the way you say it, because we actually physically we have seen some people doing what you have said, but that is not the right way to do.
Okay.
Some people even they have taken some slippers and throwing them to Shaitan, which is not allowed to do that. You have collected the pebbles in Muzdalifah. So what you're supposed to do on the first day, on the day of Eid, the 10th of Dhul Hajj, is to throw 7 pebbles to the biggest Shaitan. Now, the criteria is, for the followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, according to the rules, you have to throw in the middle of this big, huge, symbolizing wall.
Is it called obelisk by any chance? I mean, I'm purely guessing here, I think. I don't want to, mess up.
I haven't come across that.
Okay.
Sorry. But it's a big wall, which now they have made it. You can't miss it.
Right.
And actually, there is a ground level, middle level, and top level because of the number of the Hujjaj. So it is preferable for the followers of Ahlul Bayt, you go to the ground, because this is where the original pillar used to be.
Okay.
So you go there, you position yourself, you hit the middle part of it 7 times. You throw 1, 2, 3, 4th pebble until the 7th one.
This action that you're doing, is that okay? Is that how you want us to do it?
Exactly.
Okay.
Actually, there are some hadith which talk about throwing it in a way like you are showing disregard to Shaitan. So whichever way which shows this disrespect to the Shaitan, you can do it. But we are talking about volume of people. There are many people. Some who are coming, some who are going, some who do not know even the etiquettes of throwing.
Right.
So you need to be very careful, because there are some people who may throw these pebbles from far, not from close. So you may be hit, and people have been hit with stones. These pebbles are pebbles, so you need to be very careful. But now when we talk about the rules and regulations, you need to be as close as possible so that you don't miss it. And when you throw the pebbles, as we have said, make sure it is in the middle part of it in order for you to hit it properly.
I'm a little bit confused. You mentioned a wall. You said now there's a wall. So can you still see the statue-like figures, the 3 shaitans? Can you see it, or is there a wall blocking your vision?
No. So when we talk about shaitan, you see a wall which symbolizes a shaitan. Okay. We can call it maybe a pillar, but it's so huge, which you can't miss it. That's why I'm using the word wall.
No wonder I got confused, because I'm actually envisioning a very thin, not very thin, but just like a pole sort of. Okay, so it's actually a wall.
Yeah, and the people who are taking care of this particular area, they have made it so huge that you can't miss it.
Okay.
And they are signing, writings, people to direct you where to go, so you can't miss it. But the point is, you have to hit the middle part of it.
Sure.
And here you need those people, for example, the leaders of groups, follow them, listen to them,
Sure.
you will not go wrong.
Okay, and also keep on the lookout for people behind you throwing pebbles.
Oh,
because
very
you might
important.
get hit.
Very important.
Yeah.
Maybe some tips which are very important for fast comers, if we can call them. When you go to hit the shaitan, don't go just straight. You see the wall there, don't just go straight. So take like your right side of, this is the wall, go right.
Okay.
And then come back as if you're going to go back from where you came from. You will find yourself near the wall, and it will be easy for you to throw the pebbles as easy as possible. For ladies, for gents, even for old people, people with disability, it's easy to do it that way.
Now, tips like that can only come from an experienced expert in Hajj. So it's brilliant to have you with us, obviously.
Thank you.
More evidence why we needed you.
Thank you.
What if I lose the pebbles? Or, what happens then? Is that possible? They're not that big. You could potentially lose maybe 3 out of the 7 that you needed.
So if you remember when we were talking about Muzdalifah, when we were there to collect the pebbles, we said you need like 70.
Right.
Why? It's because, yes, there is a chance. Maybe for some reason, you throw it and it doesn't reach. Because maybe there are many people in front of you.
Okay.
Or you throw it, someone else has thrown another one, maybe 2 stones meet and it doesn't reach the wall. So make sure if you lose, you don't reach the number 7 of the pebbles, you can borrow from your friends. You can always take more.
Even the person next to you?
Even person next to you.
You just ask and they give you their pebbles.
The only thing you can't do is take the pebbles which have been thrown to shaitan and then use them, reuse them. You can't reuse them.
Sure.
You can borrow them and then you can use as fresh as possible.
So there is a target and you have to get very close to that target. It's not like, let's just throw it and move on. No, you have to take care at that particular spot. So it's quite serious.
Indeed. You have to make sure you have thrown 7 pebbles.
Okay.
That you have to be sure.
Earlier, when we began this episode, you said that Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam took his son to slaughter him. So I'm guessing there's slaughtering that's going to be taking place here as well, animal slaughtering?
Yes, indeed. So once the pebbles have been thrown, 7 of them on the big shaitan, if we can use the term.
Sure.
Now the first act of worship on the day of Eid for this Hajj has been done. So what is next? Next is to slaughter the animal.
Okay.
Now there is a slaughterhouse. Normally, normal Hajj, they don't go. They give the task to the head of the caravan, head of the group. He has connection with the people who are waiting to say, Hassan, now Al-Hajj Hassan has hit all the 7 pebbles. So the person who is in charge to slaughter the, if I can say, sheep on your behalf, he will do that after you have thrown the shaitan, the pebbles to shaitan.
Okay.
So now he will throw the meat, or if you, as a young man, you want to go to the slaughterhouse, you can go there.
Okay.
You can also witness the animal has been slaughtered on your behalf.
Okay.
So that is the second act of worship which needs to be done.
On that day?
On that day.
Which is Eid day?
Eid day.
Okay.
Once that has been done, now you are going to shave your hair.
Oh, right.
So this is on the day of Hajj.
Okay, let's talk
about the day of Eid.
Shaving, because some people are quite particular with their hair, about their hair.
Indeed.
Please tell me how that transpires.
And especially young men like yourself. How can I go and take all of my hair? No, how will I look like? For the first time, if someone has gone there for the first time, it is highly recommended for you to shave the whole head, clean shave the whole head.
Bald.
So
nothing like, you can't leave a little bit on the top.
No.
Completely bald, sides, top.
You start afresh, new person with new look. This is on the 10th.
That's definitely a new look.
However, the Holy Quran, as clearly says, مُحَلِّقِينَ رُؤُوسَكُمْ وَمُقَصِّرِينَ. So you can do either halq or taqsir. The option is that you can either trim or you can clean shave, have a bald
Sure.
hair. The first time, as we say, it's highly recommended for you to clean the whole head. So now, once you have done that third act of worship on the day of Hajj,
yes,
now you can remove your ihram.
So that's what comes off then.
Exactly.
And you go back to normal.
Now you
clothes?
can go take shower.
Okay.
And now you can wear your trousers, your t-shirt, your shirt, your shalwar kameez, your dashdasha,
nice.
Whatever now you can wear, waiting for other acts of worship for the next day.
Last question on this I'm going to ask. Is it possible for a woman to avoid throwing by allowing another person, another man, to throw on her behalf? Obviously, we're talking about pebbles, throwing towards the target of shaitan. Is that allowed?
Sure. Women here, they have been allowed for some of the acts which men they have to do it. They are allowed to ask for someone else to do on their behalf. So if it is difficult for them, for example, to go to throw pebbles to the shaitan, they can give it to their husbands, to their sons, to the leader of the caravan.
Okay. So it's
they
not
can
just
do.
mahram.
No.
Okay.
Anyone who is within the group can do on their behalf.
Shaykh, thank you very much. That was a lot to cover in a very short span of time, but I enjoyed it. Thank you. Brothers and sisters, there's much more to come. Guess what? You know the tawaf, the circling of the Kaaba that we done previously, it's making a comeback, but it's now called something else. So stay tuned to find out what it is. Until we meet again next time, take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.